MonoRants at the Movies, a podcast where we rant about films you may have seen at house parties. And we want to play a game.
Hungry hippos.
Why the fuck not? I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono. And having real trouble with the moral code of a serial killer is my co-host and master of none, Kira.
It makes no sense.
Does it have to make sense?
It should.
Should it?
Yeah,
Really?
when you're going to that much effort to kidnap people, build this shit, like, you gotta make the punishment fit the crime, so make it make sense.
Well, we'll get on to it. Because today we're talking Saw.
Saw?
Yes.
What was it, 2004?
2004, James Wan's first effort.
Yeah.
And a damn good one at that.
Yes.
Because,
Bit of a game changer in the old horror movie thing. Spawned an awful lot of, not found footage, but this kind of was the impetus to, like, paranormal activity, things like that, where people were like...
yeah, a lot kind of came from this. It got accused of being just a Seven ripoff.
Yeah, a lot. And you can see that in some of the trap construction, a lot of the same stylistic choices.
Yeah, no, there's definitely similarities, but it's more than just a Seven ripoff.
No, it's not. I think it's a fucking brilliant thing. The only reason it's still going is because the idea behind it.
Well, the traps is what people really got onto.
Yeah, it was like this weird fucked up live action. No, not live action. What am I on about? Horror Crystal Maze.
Evil Crystal Maze.
Evil Crystal Maze.
Well,
still hosted by Richard O'Brien. Naturally,
of course. Well, as we said when we were watching it and after we were watching it, it's kind of like the world's worst escape room.
It is the world's worst escape room, and I don't understand why we, as the generation that had Final Destination 2 and therefore will no longer drive within like 500 metres of a truck carrying logs, willingly go to escape rooms.
In that sense, it didn't have the
like
same...
we had, think about it, Saw, Hostel. There was a whole load of them of people like going to like fun events and then like it all
not being so fun.
Yeah.
Whereas Final Destination was just that one random scene, not based around... The movie's not based around it or anything. Well, I mean, that's the...
Yeah,
the
start of the
sees,
Rube
but...
Goldberg fucking sequence of events. It always starts with that one... the crash is going to happen or this is going to happen. And I think that's the first one, it's the plane crash. In the second one, I think it's
that car crash.
It's everybody who should have died in the pile-up.
Yeah, but no, it's not like the whole thing is like logs coming to kill people the whole way throughout the movie.
No.
It's just one bit in the movie.
Floating logs coming past like fucking the ships from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy that
hang in the air in exactly the way that giant yellow bricks don't.
Yeah.
Yes, they hang in the air exactly the way that logs don't. But no, yeah, considering the collective effect that had on our psyche...
Why do we go to escape rooms?
Yeah, Saw didn't steer us clear from escape rooms.
Yeah, because this is, like, it really is the world's worst escape room. Like, you wake up somewhere, you're disorientated. Yeah. Well, you're locked in somewhere, you have a time limit, you're given a goal, and now you have to puzzle your way out. It's like those fucking demented point-and-click games from the very early 2000s that used to get on, like, Flash players.
Oh, I'd say even earlier.
And you're frantically clicking on everything in the room.
Monkey Island.
Yeah.
And stuff from LucasArts. Yeah.
You used to get them on Newgrounds and stuff like that as well. People would make them and they were just fucking horrendous to like, and it would be like, oh, you have to do this while doing this and then go find this thing, put it and offer it to the screen.
Yeah, the logic in those puzzles was a little bit more lateral thinking kind of.
Yeah, this was more your Easter egg hunt, follow the clues.
Yeah, this is just follow the clues. Sometimes they're a little bit cryptic, but it's nothing quite like, you know.
Yeah, like things are there and they're obvious, but they're also hidden. But I like the fact that you get...
Except for one thing, but we'll get onto that in a bit.
As you're moving through it, the foreshadowing in this.
Oh, yeah.
This movie is incredibly rewatchable because of that.
Yeah.
And you get to see, once you know kind of the twist at the end and what's going on, and when you go back and watch it, you kind of can go, oh, there's that thing. Oh, there's that thing. Oh, that's when that happened. Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah, no, I think the
still doesn't make up for the gaping plot holes that you could drive a bus through, but...
Some are bigger than others. But yeah, no, I think the room aspect of it is definitely the strongest about it. Everything that goes on in the room. Parts of it.
Well, that's the focus, and everything else is storytelling. So you have no idea whether or not it's true or not, because anything that you've been told about them up till this point.
Yeah, you're because everything is flashback. You have to take the person who's giving the flashback.
Yeah,
on
they're
their
all
word.
They're all coloured by their perception of events.
And as time goes on, you realise that these people haven't been entirely honest with each other. Even the ones trapped in the room together, like...
Yeah, they've been hiding things from each other.
But before we go too far into it, shall we go for our usual summary?
But it's Saw. Do you need a summary?
Well, I'll give it a little bit more than I did last week with my 2 lines about Frank Castle.
Because in fairness, it's Halloween. It's time for Saw.
Well,
it's not Halloween, but fuck it, it's always Halloween in my head.
Yes, and in our house.
Most definitely in our house. It's every day is Halloween.
Waking up chained to pipes in a dingy bathroom with no explanation, Adam and Lawrence must figure out how they got there. A few clues lead them to realise they are part of serial killer Jigsaw's twisted game, and they must find a way out of the world's worst escape room. But will they follow Jigsaw's rules where someone has to die, or can they work together and escape the bathroom before it becomes their tomb?
It's not a place I'd want to die.
Not a place I'd want to wake up either.
Yeah, it's not a place I'd want to be in general. Like that is, I have used some dire bathrooms in my day in remote regions of the world and various festivals.
Yeah, no,
and metal festivals.
Few have been worse than that.
That is not one I would willingly go into.
No, I'd take a hole in the ground over that.
I'm gonna go find some like bush infested with everything venomous.
But for how filthy everything else was, the water in the cistern was pretty clean.
Yeah, thank fuck. And so was the water in the bath, at least. Like, because in that toilet, that was not pleasant.
No.
Oh, the smell. Because it was.
Oh, that whole room was.
It's stale and damp and then you've got a dead body in the middle of the floor, and if you've ever smelled dried blood, it does smell like that. It's that coppery.
Yeah.
It gets in the back of your nose and sticks there, mingled in with all of the. Oh.
Is that another thing the doctor should have picked up on?
Well, it depends on what. If blood, all blood smells the same. Unless he's a freaking vampire.
Well,
he's not over there licking it.
Well, no, I was going to say that Jigsaw would have used fake blood because it's him. It's not a dead body. But then it's not like Jigsaw doesn't have access to plenty of real blood.
Yeah.
So never mind. Yeah, scratch that.
Like I used to make fake blood for Halloween, and there was a recipe I had that was edible stuff, and it was made with a chocolate powder base, and it tasted really, really good, and it smelled really good. So I think Jigsaw probably was like, realistic effect. If he's going to go through all the effort.
Yeah, no, he's probably just going to have covered himself in somebody else's blood.
Yeah, no, and to get it to dry down in the right consistency and stuff like that, especially if you have a doctor in the room, you don't want the blood to still be like bright neon red.
Yeah,
no, it should be blacky, browny, flaky.
Yeah,
thick and like, because even when he dips the cigarette in it later on, you can see it's gotten that like goopy, weird goop to it. Presumably the room is quite cold as well then.
Though, speaking about the
blowback is all wrong. Just having a weird thing about there, if he had shot himself in the head, there's no splatter on the walls behind him, and there should have been. Sorry, I'm just getting weird and like serial killery again.
Well, no, there are a couple of things that the doctor, I think, should have picked up on that he didn't, because he picks up on so many other things, like. And if he had considered that dead body a bit better, he probably could have figured it out. There should have been
way more blowback on the walls and things like that.
They don't really show the wall behind him that much.
No. You would know.
Yeah, but
you would know. Because that's a fairly like decent revolver as well. So
no, the one that gets me is the tape that the dead man / actual Jigsaw is holding, or the tape recorder.
Yeah, what bothered me about that, the gun in the guy's hand makes sense because his fingers loop through the trigger.
Yeah,
but the tape recorder is just kind of placed. Even if it had been looped, because there's a carry loop on it. If it had been looped around his hand or something to make sure that it stayed attached. Well,
then they might not have gotten it off his hand.
No, but they might have been able to like break it off or something.
But no, it's not that. It's the fact that there's no tape in that tape recorder.
Yeah, he should have had a play me tape as well.
There should have been and considering all the angles that Jigsaw covers, he should have had a fake tape in there, and the fact that there wasn't one, fair enough. But
because they never questioned,
the doctor should have picked up on that, because the doctor's tape implies that
there's
the body on the floor is the one that has the poison in the blood, and that's why he shot himself. But you would think there would already be, like, why would the guy be holding a tape recorder unless there was a tape already in it? I think the doctor should have picked up on that.
Had the tape recorder somewhere in the room close to him, like on the top of the cistern or something, like it had been played and put down.
Yeah, or placed on his chest or something, so that because with him holding it, it seems like he had played a game. Specifically played a game and decided to kill himself. Whereas if it was, say, placed on his chest and the doctor's tape said something like, the body you see before you previously played a game. It's just I feel like there should be a decoy
some
tape in
sort
it,
of-
or the doctor should be like, hey, why wasn't there a tape in there?
Yeah, because he picks up on pretty much everything else. Because that's the thing I really like about Cary Elwes in this. Is, well, this was the first thing I think I'd seen him in since Men in Tights.
We're men in tights.
And
Absolutely, yeah.
And then Princess Bride was in there somewhere, but I hadn't made the connection that they were all the same
I don't
actor.
think I had seen Princess Bride.
No,
when
I
first saw
showed you
this.
Princess Bride.
Yeah.
I obviously IMDb didn't exist at this time, so you had somebody who kind of was like, "Here, who's that?"
And he's doing his best Bill Pullman in Independence Day.
Yeah, and the blue light washout in it, which I really like, because that blue light in the bathroom gets stronger and stronger as it goes on, which makes them just look more gaunt and worn down, and particularly after his whole freak out.
Yeah.
And he looks really fucking haggard by the end of that, and the blue light just emphasizes that because it washes out all the pinks and turns them into shadow.
Yeah.
And it just makes them both look like, presumably it's been 2-3 hours they've been in there.
Well, 6.
Oh, is it 6 hours?
Because he has. It's a little bit more than 6 because he has from 12 till 6.
They go downhill pretty fucking fast, physically, both of them. I understand it's an extreme high stress situation. One of them's been electrocuted.
Well, yeah, and I don't think the doctor looks really pale until after he cuts his foot off.
Yeah.
But no, I really like Cary Elwes in this, and I like his journey through it all.
I think it's really interesting the way he played the character, because he plays the character in this really weird detached way, where he has this very obvious kind of doctor persona where nothing ruffles him, and he's very calm, and he's like, we can think this through, but it's almost like he's just going through the motions. He's not, even with his interactions that you see with his wife.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I think that's supposed to be the thing, because even his wife is like, I'd prefer it if you just told me that you fucking hated me instead of this.
Whatever this weird limbo is.
Yeah.
But then when everything goes down, and after the phone call and he breaks down, that's when you actually get to see some real emotion.
Oh, and he finally freaks out and cuts his foot off.
Yeah, but then when he's on the phone, he's going, hello. And he sounds like Johnny Depp and Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, when he finally figures out, or he thinks he's figured it out, and that it's Zepp, and the phone rings again. He's like, Zepp, you bastard! And his wife says something, and he goes, Holly?
Yeah.
The change in his voice, even the change in his face as well.
But he goes into, once he snaps, it's all extremes of, violence and anger, and then this concern that seems to be kind of, he's like, it's like, oh, okay, we get it, you love your wife and kid, maybe you should have fucking shown them that.
Well, but I think that's the point where Jigsaw
he's learned his lesson.
Yeah, he's learned the lesson that Jigsaw's trying to teach him.
Yeah,
because that's why I think in the awkward corridor encounter, shall we call it, that's inevitably going to happen after the film ends.
No, I just really wanted some weird awkward elevator, the pair of them in the elevator staunchly ignoring each other with just canned music playing.
Because I've often wondered what happens, because
thank God he's what do you do? Does he just drop him off at a local hospital?
Yeah, does he let him crawl the way out, or does he kill him? Because technically he didn't follow the rules,
but he did learn.
Learn the lesson he was supposed to learn.
Jigsaw was kind of fast and loose with
which is more important to Jigsaw, that he learned the lesson or that he obeyed the rules?
Yeah.
Because I think it's the lesson. So I think Jigsaw's just going to be like, yeah, well done.
Yeah,
you didn't really follow the rules,
a bit of a fickle bitch. So
you seem to have more of a problem with him than I do.
I do. Yeah, I want a clear-cut MO if you're going to be putting this much effort in.
Well, see, I think he does. I just think that we're colouring our view by 20
odd years
of society progressing, and B, the later films, because in the later films the punishment is more of a kind of a fit the crime thing.
Yeah.
But more importantly, in this, and I think that's where your problem stems from, is the victims he picks in this.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're deserving. In the later films, you do get there's a guy who what was it, he was drunk driver and killed a kid.
Hit and run a kid,
like things that you're like, yeah, you're a fucking dick, but it's kind of deserved because they do get a chance to redeem themselves.
Yeah.
But in this, it's like, no, your man, the razor wire guy, no, he's just had a mental breakdown.
Yeah, he's just got mental health issues.
He just needs to go to a rehabilitation program and a whole lot of therapy.
Yeah, he needs to talk through some stuff, not time through some stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's not fair.
No.
And poor Amanda's just a drug addict.
Again,
like, she's got addiction problems.
That's a disease and a mental...
Mark,
that's all therapy issues. That's not, like... Mark's a bit of a fucking asshole.
The only one I would say who deserves punishment for their actions of any of the people we know are involved in the games or what they're involved in the games for is Mark.
But he doesn't deserve to die. He just deserves to have his freedom removed.
Yeah, he deserves to be punished to the extent that he has broken the law.
Yeah.
But we have somebody with mental health issues, somebody who is a drug addict, somebody who, is a bit sleazy and takes photos for a living, but not as a private eye, just for whoever will pay him to take those photos. So, I mean, maybe not the most honourable profession in the world, but yeah, he's still got a job. Yeah. A doctor who's possibly cheating, but definitely distant and cold towards his wife and his patients.
Yeah.
And then some random guy who just gets drugged so he can have a key put inside him. We have no idea what happened to him.
Yeah, there's a couple of them, and whatever Zed did.
We don't know what Zed did.
And if he's going to get up on like his morally fucking high horse grandstanding that he does in these tapes, have like at least some sort of clear point of view, because some of them ramble off a little bit like a eulogy gone a bit wrong.
But see, this is where I think I disagree with you. You seem to want him to have like a moral code in how he like picks his victims, but
he's judging people by moral behaviors though. Like if he's like oh, you're having an affair, he's judging like it's all a bit fast and loose.
Oh, it is, but I think for me he's judging on just whoever he sees as wasting their life or not valuing life. So it's all about,
which then leads me back to your man who's running the scams.
He's not necessarily wasting his life, he's living it badly.
Yeah, but he's still living his life though. Like, I can kind of see with the guy with the mental health issues and with Amanda and her drug addiction.
Well, we don't know what illness Mark was faking. Mark could be faking the illness that Jigsaw has. Yeah. And that's why he picked him.
Yeah, like, it's not like Mark's out there fucking swapping medication for Zima.
No, but we don't know specifically what Mark did.
Yeah.
We just know he had some injury and he was taking advantage of people he had faked an injury or a disability and was taking advantage of people through faking it. That's all that gets implied. But so maybe for that one, he's not necessarily wasting his life in the same way that he sees the doctor as kind of sleepwalking through life. Yeah. Adam as observing other people's life and doing nothing with his own. And then the addict is obviously a drug addict, so they're wasting their life. And the person who attempted suicide is trying to throw their life away when they've got this great life.
Yada, yada, yada. No, you don't know what's going on in somebody's life.
Particularly the drug addict and the guy with mental health issues. Get fucked, Jigsaw. Yeah. Like, absolutely 100%. And
like a lot of the I know when this movie came out there was still an awful lot of stigma around mental health issues and suicide and things like that. And it was very much a source of shame for a lot of people to have had anything like that in the family. But we've come a long way since then, but this did not help with any of that.
Well, yeah, I think if this was made now, you wouldn't be picking somebody just because they attempted suicide. And I don't think we're not supposed to be for Jigsaw in this or want to see the people get killed.
Yeah.
But I think where they go with the sequels and the traps are so inventive and so fun, you don't want to feel bad when you see these people die. You want to kind of be able to enjoy it and like go, that person got ripped apart and they deserved it.
Except for poor Dizzy in the third one.
But in that, they've broken the rules. And we are supposed to feel bad for her.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing is when Zepp finally comes back and he's like, I can't, there are rules.
Yeah.
So which is why I think Jigsaw probably does kill Gordon, because even though he learned the lesson, he didn't follow the rules.
Well, he comes back in Saw 3D, but I don't know in what capacity because I dropped off around the fourth film.
And in fairness, we've seen like Resident Evil bring back dead characters. We've seen...
But that was as clones.
We've seen Fast and Furious bring back dead characters.
But that was like Witsec or something like that.
And
it could be in a flashback. I think he comes back as a survivor though.
Maybe he does drop him off at the hospital.
I had a quick look, and I think the one that he's in is Saw 3D. It's the 5th or the 6th, maybe the 6th one, I'm not sure. But it revolves around a group of survivors coming together in like a support group, and then I think somebody trying to take them out.
Oh god, poor bastards.
Which seems a bit unfair, because if they're survivors...
Yeah.
If you survive a Jigsaw game, it's not normally because you've managed to cheat your way out of it.
Yeah, it's because you've done horrific things to get out of there that you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I just think because this is the first one, they hadn't quite nailed down his philosophy, and they hadn't quite nailed down his like victim choosing. And in the second and the third ones and the subsequent ones, well, as far as I've watched, the people who die are more deserving of it, and it makes it easier as an audience member to enjoy it, because I'm like, not
just,
the poor addict girl.
The reasoning just seems so freaking, that they were chosen just seems really arbitrary to me. And
also, it's not in the second and third ones, anybody who's involved is playing a game.
Yeah, there's like,
people who aren't playing the game. The doctor's wife and kid aren't playing any game. They're just playing the role of victim.
Yeah.
That guy who gets his intestines cut open is playing the role of victim. The dude in his warehouse. Now, Jigsaw does say he's part of the prototype for a new game or something like that, but he's still just playing the role of victim. Those people have no choices to make.
Yeah.
Even Zepp's choice is just suicide or kill somebody else.
Yeah, because he's been poisoned, and even then he was drawn. The implication I took from that when they were talking about Zepp is like, oh, you have a slow-acting poison in your veins. So Jigsaw just went and just randomly poisoned this guy.
Yeah, we don't know what Zepp did, and Zepp gets really
Zepp really, it really pisses me off, because he stands up for him in the hospital. He's really nice, and he just seems to be like an orderly who's just doing his thing.
Yeah.
What did he do to deserve this?
I don't know.
Like, yeah, Jigsaw's just like a really bitter, angry old man who's lashing out at everybody because of the hand he's been dealt in life.
But that's he's supposed to be. We're not supposed to.
His life is supposed to have been like up until this point. Maybe he deserved the cancer.
Well, yeah, but we're not supposed to view him as like a vigilante or anything like that. He's supposed to be a serial killer. It's just that he's got these inventive traps, and he chooses these victims in a way that makes him feel morally superior.
Yeah. Because they kill themselves, that's the whole thing.
I just think as the films go on, we enjoy the deaths more, and the people deserve it more.
Yeah.
We're still not supposed to like Jigsaw anymore in those films. I think they do try and give him a bit more of a tragic backstory.
I can kind of understand, because nobody else in this film is particularly likeable, but he comes across as like the only kind of likeable or decent character.
Zepp.
Because you get that scene of him standing up to Gordon and being like, no, his name is blah blah blah, and he's a really interesting man, and you know that he's the only person who seems to have like stood up for somebody in any way.
Yeah,
and he's punished for that.
Yeah, unless we missed something small somewhere where like Zepp is creepy. No, Zepp gets creepy.
Zepp does get creepy, and if it had been,
gets really
all they
creepy.
would have needed was like one line in the tape that maybe had painted him as some sort of like stalker or peeping Tom or something that would have justified the super creepy behaviour.
This is what I was going to say. The way he acts when... Now, at that point, we don't know it's Zepp, and we don't know... You're supposed to think it's just whoever Jigsaw is being creepy. Yeah. But when you have the full knowledge of the film and you know it's Zepp and he's playing a game, and you look back at that scene, he's really sadistic towards that mom and kid.
Yeah.
And like really super sadistic, and even a little bit on the like unsettling kind of fucking Nancy side.
You've done this before.
Yeah, and
you have a collection of tiny shoes.
So if we had some other hint of
that's what I said. If there had been something in the tape that had been like,
yeah, like you like to play the caring orderly, but I know what you really get up to. Something like that.
Yeah, like just some little hint of something, because it's like, oh, how far will you go to save your own life? And it's like, well,
yeah, and I mean,
you
like,
kill a mother and child, and it's like
Zepp's an orderly in a hospital who stood up for somebody who was just being referred to as the patient.
Yeah.
Like, is Zepp not leading a good life?
Yeah, I needed just one little line in there somewhere that gave me justification for him being so fucking weird.
I think there's smaller little aspects of this film that fall apart when you try and kind of apply that logic to it, but like other parts of it are so smart that when you do have things like this, like the foreshadowing is so great, that when you have things like this, it's like, well, why is Zepp there? And why is that guy who you told Amanda, like you tell Amanda your dead cellmate, and then like 2 seconds later in the videotape,
you see him waking up and moving around.
Well, no, but Jigsaw even says, the key is in the room of your dead cellmate. Look around you, Amanda. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
But he just fucking lied, because the cellmate's not dead. He will be very shortly.
Oh god, yeah.
But, and also, if, like, I know she's panicked, But if I had to cut open somebody to get a key out from inside them, I wouldn't like frantically stab them. She's got a surgical scalpel.
No.
Just cut them open.
Yeah,
and then dig around inside. She's like fucking psycho.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you this right now. You want to avoid that stomach.
Stomach acid is a nasty thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that's not something you want to get splashed on your hands or anything like that, because it will dissolve your skin.
Yeah, there are smaller things like that I won't say
I have
they make the
issues
film fall apart.
With Amanda as well, because I think that she gets a little bit of a harder time than everybody else in the traps, just by the sheer fact that she is like basically chained onto that chair and has to struggle her way free before she can even start.
We'll get onto Amanda in a minute.
Challenge,
I just, in terms of all the traps and the victim picking, I think it's just the seeds were here and this.
Yeah.
And it's not 100% fleshed out, and it does get fleshed out. And it's where some of the parts of this film are weaker are in those justifications and a little bit of stuff outside the room, but the room itself is so strong.
But then again, that also comes back to the fact that everything we're shown outside the room is from a third party perspective that is ultimately biased by that person.
Yeah, there's an element of unreliable narrator.
Like, we already know that Gordon, not Gordon, the detective, is obsessive, and this case is beginning to consume him, and he thinks he has somebody because it's the only piece of concrete evidence that they've gotten.
Yeah.
And you get that he's kind of honing in on his target, on who he thinks is the suspect.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Gordon's kind of superior attitude towards him.
Yeah.
And you get that with the line where he's like, I picked up a guy
a dentist 2 blocks from
over
here.
Yeah, and it was like the sewer lines run under these houses too.
Yeah.
You can kind of see Gordon being like, oh well, fuck you, buddy.
And then when Singh actually dies...
Oh God, poor Singh. Singh doesn't deserve any of that. That's when 100% Tap's fault.
But after Singh dies and Tap just goes off the rails, he's just like, no, it was the doctor. I'm going to prove it was the doctor. Yeah. Isn't that right? So he's like talking to a photo of Singh, being like, we're going to close this case,
with
Singh.
his like fucking wall of newspaper clippings and his like telescopic camera and shit.
Yeah. But sorry, back to, you were saying you think Amanda had it more unfair than the rest of them?
Yeah, so you've got the guy who wakes up he's got to get out of the razor wire maze.
He's got 2 hours.
Yeah. He's like, you can sit here and do nothing, or you can get out of the razor wire maze.
Yeah.
You've got Mark, who's covered in all the grease and has to walk on broken glass.
Yeah, there's no time limit on that. It's just
also,
the walls
Mark's
covered
a
in codes.
silly boy.
Yeah.
Put your foot down flat, like wiggle your foot into the glass,
and then shuffle it around. Yeah, I was thinking about that when we were watching it as well.
And then sweep, and then you've got paths.
Yeah, unless that glass is like 4 or 5 foot deep, and I don't think he went through that much effort.
No, because he would have fallen over way more than that.
Yeah. That's just a layer of glass on the floor. Sweep it off to the side, dude.
Yeah, just sweep it with your feet.
It'll hurt once or twice, but...
but brush it with your feet out of the way. His whole thing is just having to be super, super careful.
Yeah.
Amanda's got this big, heavy fucking thing that's on her face. She's got limited vision. It's all attached on the back. She's in a room with a dead guy, what she presumes is a dead guy. And then she's also like duct taped to the fucking chair. I understand that she has to stay steady to watch the video. Yeah, but they could have had the thing on a tether so that she could have been sitting up with it like tethered to her with the video playing.
And it doesn't release until...
Yeah, like he's able to like do trap lock doors and things like that. Surely he can just have a lock mechanism that lets her free, because the second she stands up out of that chair,
it pulls the cord and starts the timer. Yeah,
but when she's struggling to get out of the chair, though, she could also pull the cord and start the timer. So she doesn't. It's not a sporting chance.
It seems to be a long enough cord. No,
like the way she's struggling and frantic, it just seems like she's given a disadvantage from the get-go by having to fight her way out of the chair to even start.
Well, if she had to fight her way out of the chair after the timer had started, I'd say yes. But he tells her you have 2 minutes or a minute once the timer starts.
Yeah, but there's a good chance that she could have pulled that while she was struggling.
No, because it doesn't pull until she stands up. Yeah. She's a good bit away from the chair. But I think what's more unfair is the lock being on the back.
Yeah,
because you've got to
tiny.
Yeah, like if the whole test is that she's got
but it's a bear trap, so it's a reversed bear trap, and the locks on those, the way the mechanisms work on those, it is in the middle of it. So to lock it onto her head to allow her to be able to open it, that's where it would be clasped, unfortunately.
Well then,
on the back of the head.
A bigger lock.
Yeah.
That just seems unnecessarily unfair.
That was like a little, that was like a fucking My Secret Diary, like tiny lock with like a little teeny fiddly key.
Because in a way, I think she has it the easiest physically.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to go through any pain herself. Well, to finish the game, she doesn't have to go through any pain herself.
No, she does have to search through an awful lot of love and testing.
But what she has to do is psychologically terrifying and will have a massive toll on her. The other guys just have to go through physical pain to get out.
She's going through a mental challenge.
Yeah, she has to go through something mentally horrible to get out, or she'll suffer physical pain.
Yeah.
The other guys will just stay there and starve if they don't engage in the game.
Or catch on fire.
Yeah, so in that sense, I think, she's got it. Like, her task is definitely shorter, but it's far, far worse.
She also has then, from when this starts, it's like 2 minutes. So she also has the shortest time window.
Also, if Mark's a really, really careful guy and really methodical, he can get out of that with absolutely no pain or effort to himself. It's just a hassle. Like, he can sweep the glass out of the way, and he can just be, if he's a careful guy and not clumsy, he can just go around and try all those codes and get out at no hassle to himself. If he's a clumsy guy, he's going to fall over and die straight away.
But that's what I said. Like, if he swept a little path and a path all the way around.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be, because it's the walking on the glass. Also, what the fuck is he coded in? Because that corpse was like...
Oh, it was Krispy Kreme.
Like, crematorium's like wish. No, they obviously do the thing right, but like that... He wouldn't have looked like that.
Yeah, no, but like the razor wire guy has to crawl through the razor wire. She has to stab the guy and get the thing off her head.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to burn himself. He could get, even if there was no way to move the glass and he had to walk on that glass the whole time, he could just be very careful, very slow, and get out of there with just some pain on his feet.
Yeah.
I feel like that one should be more, he has to put his hand through, even if he's not coated in the fire stuff, but like you want to burn him and you want to hurt him. Have there be a big flame in front of the thing he has to put the code in. And every time he tries a code, he has to burn himself like he burned other people in the past.
Yeah.
That to me would be a better trap.
Yeah, like a heated pad or something.
Yeah,
like
that. If Mark is a really careful guy, he's fine. If Mark is a really clumsy guy, he's gonna die straight away. Yeah. And it's just like, I feel like there's too much up to chance in that one. Like, doesn't matter how clumsy or how careful.
All he had to do, to be perfectly honest, all he had to do was sneeze violently once.
Yeah, there's and there's the element of mistake as well. Okay, the razor wire guy might nick the wrong artery and die straight away, but again, it just, I feel like
you can feasibly worm your way out of that razor wire one. Like, you're not going to come out.
Yeah, like if you panic, you're going to tangle yourself up.
But you could theoretically wiggle Catherine Zeta-Jones and entrapment it.
But yeah, for me, I just, where you feel like Amanda got it worse, I feel like Mark got it easier and should have been able to get out of that, no problem.
Yeah. I also like the fact that the actor that played Mark is the ex-husband of the casting director.
Yes.
I don't know why, that one gave me some satisfaction. I was like, yeah.
But yeah, so pick better victims.
Yeah.
Make the traps fairer to them, or just fairer across the board. And absolutely, when you have somebody held at gunpoint, shoot them in the leg. Because as you said, Singh would not be dead if it wasn't for fucking
Tap is
fucks up majorly on that one.
Responsible for Singh's death.
For a number of reasons.
Fucks up a number of things. Okay, he's there obsessively watching the video. And
that's a personality thing. We won't even include that. Because let's just say choices he made wrong. Yeah, but no warrant. We'll start with the no warrant.
No warrant. No, just no. So you're going to be done for unlawful entry.
Yeah.
If they do find something. And nothing that you can seize and that can be held up in court because you didn't have a warrant to... It's an unauthorised search of a facility.
Yeah.
So no warrant, no backup. You're going into a fucking... You think this is where this serial killer's been hiding out? This guy who makes traps? Yeah. And you're going in there with no backup. You haven't notified anybody. You could have even been like saying... You could have even said to Singh, hey, call into dispatch. Let them know where we are.
Now, the fact that Singh...
The fact that they walked the whole way in there, went, we're in the right place, did not turn back around, walk out and notify everybody.
Yeah. Or tell anybody where they were going.
No, they should have literally walked in, stuck their head in and gone, this is the fucking place.
Yeah.
We need bomb disposal. We need all the robots. We need the guys in the big gear. We need every tech head from here to fucking, I don't know. We need the FBI. We need the CIA. Maybe not the CIA, because they'll just be like, ooh, tasty traps, and take them.
Then it gets worse.
But like, no, like if you're dealing with this guy who obviously has the skill to make all of this sort of shit, why do you not think that he has rigged that whole place up the wazoo? This is like fucking Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom level shit is what I was expecting. They're lucky that what happens
to Sing
is
when
all that happens
when he's trying to chase the guy out of the building doesn't happen to both of them when they walk into the building.
Yeah, they like peeked in around the corner, went, oh yeah, this is the place, right, back up out of here because we're going to need everybody.
Well, no, they don't know it's the place when they get there. They know it's the place that he thinks it.
But as soon as they walk in, they see the graffiti and he goes, hey, and they go up. Number one, why are you walking up a set of stairs that's probably rigged? They should have been rigged. I'd have rigged them.
Well, that was the point we just made, yeah.
Yeah, but like, as soon as you realise this is the place, back up on out, because you're going to need a warrant.
They're not sure that's the place. It's the graffiti. So he's just sure that, yes, that is the graffiti I saw. Yeah. But it's when they find, like, all the stuff. The second
they saw that puppet, they
see the puppet and the diorama is the first thing they uncover.
And they are wearing the same clothes.
And
in the diorama as they are.
They're wearing the same clothes as they are in it, which so Jigsaw can tell the future apparently.
Or they just wear the same shit every day because they're blokes.
But
at that point you go, yeah, we're pretty sure this is the right place. You have a cell phone. You're a cop. At least back, you would have had a BlackBerry at the very least because they've been around for fucking ever. Ring somebody!
No, my biggest problem is when they uncover the guy and then they hear Jigsaw or somebody coming up the elevator and Tap is like, quick, hide everything, cover back up, and Sing's like, no, he's coming up the elevator, we've got the guy, why the fuck would we do anything other than arrest him?
Because they need to hear him, because they don't have the warrant, they need to hear him making the threats.
But he's got a guy... Like, all they need to do is at most wait 4 or 5 seconds until he like pulls the cover off the guy and says, I need to use stronger sedatives next time. At that point, boom.
Yeah,
out with the guns.
Yeah, no matter, even if you're not the guy we're looking for, you
still got a guy hostage. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of giving him a chance
they hide. He starts the fucking machine when they do jump out because they let him get right up to it. And then
he's starting to do his fucking moralising.
Well, one of them has to try and stop the machine and
shoot him in the leg.
Tap is standing there going, oh, what kind of sicko are you? Yeah, and he starts moralising and then slits Tap's throat.
They're all like, stop the machine. No, shoot the fucker in the leg. Put him down. Now he's not going to run anywhere. Or at least put fucking handcuffs or something on him. Don't just stand there with a gun pointed at him, shouting at him. Take action, man.
Shoot him in the leg, then he can't run.
No. There's so many things where because it's like, oh, we're going to have a standoff with a firearm and your only option, because they haven't been trained in any other sort of fucking technique except for fucking shoot them.
But
tackle them.
But even here, we're saying, shoot him. Do the thing that the only thing you know how to do. Just shoot him in the leg.
Yeah, and then like arrest him or like handcuff him. But like he's not going to go away and he's no longer a flight risk.
But no, he becomes a flight risk, runs, and you get Singh killed. Yeah. Because he chases after him when he shouldn't have had to.
Yeah, because he should have shot him in the fucking leg. Singh did not deserve that. Poor Singh.
No, poor Singh.
When you see Singh lying in that corridor, Singh's lying in the exact same position that the body is in the room.
At the very end.
Yeah, and you've got Tap slouched.
Oh, well, holding his hand up to his neck, whereas Adam's holding his hand to his shoulder, slumped at the end.
And then you see getting up and going out the door, and it's just, it is lovely the way that's done.
Yeah, no, that's one of the other nice little bits of foreshadowing in terms of just like placement of people.
Also, a round of applause for Tobin Bell for lying on that floor for that long.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much the whole shoot was just Tobin Bell lying on the floor. Yeah. He didn't have to do an awful lot for this film. Lie on the floor, lie in a bed.
Yeah. I'm going to presume that wasn't him running around in the game.
In the robe, yeah. It didn't even have to be him in the robe.
No.
That was Zepp. Oh, and speaking of shooting people in the legs and Zepp, shoot Zepp in the leg.
Yeah.
Because that would have made things easier as well. He would have been caught straight away and would never have made it back.
Michael Emerson plays a good creepy guy. Like,
is that Zepp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in Lost as well.
Yeah, no, he's good in this. He's really creepy. But he also should have been shot in the leg.
Yeah.
But then we do know that his Trish Poe, I can't remember what the character's name is. Ali, yes, the wife of Dr. Gordon. If she's not going to run to her child who's screaming, she's probably not going to shoot him in the leg.
That is terror screaming, yeah.
That child's terror screaming, and she goes for a jog.
Yeah, she's like, oh no.
I'll just jog to see why my child is screaming.
Yeah.
I move quicker than that when the cats are vomiting to see if it's on carpet or hardwood.
Every alarm should be the sound of a cat horking. Nothing makes you move faster on this planet. Especially when it's muffled and it sounds like they're behind something. And you're like, no!
Yeah, we'll edit that sound in over her running, and then it's so... No, she's not going fast
No,
enough.
that is my kid's been annoying me all day, and they've done the thing I've told them not to do, and now they're crying. And I'm not going to hurry, because the second I get there, I'm going to be like, now... This is why I told you not to do this.
Or there's a massive loud bang and you go, yeah, all right. And somebody goes, yeah, but you still come and see anyway.
Yeah, just in case they're like, just to give them a hand or whatever.
Yeah, that is not running to my kids screaming in mortal danger.
Especially if your kids come into you before that. I mean, like, there's somebody in my room.
Yeah. And you put them to bed and back to sleep and then they scream like that.
Yeah, no. And I don't blame that kid for screaming like that, because when it pulls away and you can see him watching her in that wardrobe.
Just the eye perfectly lit. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's creepy.
And it's when she bursts into the room then eventually. Because he must have just been standing there in that sheet waiting on her to grab the kid. He'd be like, hang on, kid, we gotta wait on your mom.
I don't know why, other than to preserve the identity of the killer and stuff for us as the audience. I don't understand why he's under that sheet to try and take the kid.
Well, presumably that's what he was hiding under, like in the wardrobe. Because you see Lawrence checking the wardrobe.
Yeah.
So if he'd bundled himself up like that and hidden in the back, it was like, oh, it's just a pile of stuff in a basket or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's unbelievably creepy in this. Like, for no reason.
Yeah.
Like the creepy, the showing her the gun and listening to her heart.
Yeah, that's super creepy.
And then getting the bunny and Black Noiring the bunny.
Yeah, but even when Black Noir does it, it's funny.
Yeah.
When he does it, it's not.
Yeah, because he's like, here's a gun, here's a bunny. Like,
have the bunny, but I'm still going to wave the gun in your face.
It's not some weird Pavlovian experiment, you
fucking
sick
creepy.
fuck.
Yeah, it's fucking creepy. Any other things that you particularly liked about it, though?
I love the music in this. I love from the very first little like eerie sting you get when he wakes up in that bathtub.
Yeah.
And it's just enough to make the hair on the back of your neck stand up and go, this is not good.
Yeah. No, the music, particularly when it's in the room, is done really, really well. I really like, when he's doing his fake death after the cigarette.
Oh.
And the music builds and then the music really, just cuts out when he dies.
Reminds me of something. That particular, his really bad death sequence really reminds me of something. And I cannot...
It's Calculon taking the actual poison in Futurama.
It is. It is. And the way the two of them in the bathroom interact with each other, where they go through these like kind of brief periods of camaraderie because they need to work together, followed by suspicion and paranoia.
Yeah.
Is very much Homer and Mr. Burns when they're trapped in the cabin. And they build a snow army. Like, it's all good and they're getting on great. And then they're like, but why did you keep this thing from me? And it all becomes suspicion again. Yeah. And then they're like, they're cold, we should dress them. And then suddenly they're naked.
You nearly feel like it's supposed to just build to, or in other films it might just build to an all-out full-on aggression between the two of them.
It would have been funny to see the pair of them run at each other and get caught by the line chains.
Yes, it would have. But it's peaks and valleys, and even when like
every time they earn back a little bit, something else happens to throw them off kilter.
What I like is they never fully go against each other, even after
they both realise they're being played.
But even after he's hidden the photo of the wife and kids being tied up, he's like, why did you hide this from me? He's like, I couldn't show this to you. And you think, oh, that's going to be the end of them working together. But it's not.
No.
And then...
And like you do understand, like when he hides that, that's why like when he hides... Because when you're watching it through, when he has the bag and you kind of go, and he throws it in. But when he takes that photo, you and you see it and you go, oh God. And when he hides it, you kind of go, yeah, no, because Lawrence is going to snap. And when Lawrence goes, it's going to be like fucking... volcanic.
But then you get the cigarette bit after that and you see him dipping in it and you're like, is he going to do it? No, he's not.
Before the cigarette bit, you get my favourite bit, which is the very clearly, if you've ever played video games, a looting smash point on a wall. If you play video games, you did not need that clue about X marking the spot or turning off or being able to see more in the dark or whatever it is. You just go, hey, why are those 9 tiles on the wall rendered different?
I bet you there's something
There's a
behind
very
that.
clear
I can smash
outline.
that.
Yeah, there's a very, very, very clear outline.
There's 9 tiles that it is 100% a video game loot point.
Yeah. My gremlin brain just went, get the thing, get the prize.
Yeah, that bit of wall is rendered differently.
Treasure.
I can smash it.
Treasure.
Yeah. No. And also, even if you are in that tense of a situation and about to smoke a poison cigarette, you're right.
If you're a smoker,
you're right.
You smoke that thing to the fucking end and then you die.
Yeah,
There's 2 cigarettes. Give me both of them.
Yep, and don't tell me that, Jigsaw would have known that it was a fast-acting poison and it should have killed him quicker. Because Jigsaw obviously doesn't know fucking anything about cigarettes, because if his plan was dip the cigarette in the poison blood and give it to the smoker, A, yeah, it won't light. And B, every smoker is going to fucking see that, especially when they're white filters and not the ones that we get over here. And hey, what's this red black shit on the end of my cigarette?
Rip that in half.
Yeah, rip that off, or give me the other cigarette and don't do whatever you did with this one.
Fuck
dumbass.
that, pull out the filter, I'll just have it without a filter. I'm not desperate for a fag, I'll have anything.
Yeah, no, so I was like, yeah, that's some bad move.
Yeah, because it's like, and you taste it straight away when you put it in your mouth.
But yeah, no, the video game wall render thing it cracks me up as well.
But yeah, his terrible death. I just love the fact that the chains
are electrified.
Yeah,
and he thinks, and the doctor thinks
like,
that's stop acting. It's like, no, you just saw him attempt to act 2 seconds ago.
Yeah,
what he did on the floor, gyrating about there, was not acting. That was real. You should know that. I
do love that bit because it gives you a moment of levity.
Yeah. One of the few, if not only.
Yeah, and it's a relief to laugh at it because it's like you're lying there and you're going, oh god, what's going to happen now? And then next thing he starts like flopping around like a fish.
Yeah.
And it allows you to go, oh yeah, that's funny, that's okay, all right, okay, before the next load of horrors.
Yeah.
Because every time they get a clue in the room, there's no like respite or reward. It just leads to something even worse.
Yeah, or something more difficult to puzzle out.
Yeah, it's like follow us down the brown shit road. Like things are just getting worse and worse as it's going. Like
I really like the editing in it as well and the camera work.
You wouldn't know they didn't have enough footage.
No. Well, maybe there's 1 or 2 bits in where they're like doing the CCTV.
But yeah, no, there's some like they reused footage to make it look like CCTV footage. A lot of the way it's edited and cut. There is some reuse of stuff there, but it doesn't affect it in any way because it is quite, the flashbacks allow you as well because it does show slightly different perspectives again from the original like memory of that person.
Yeah,
they show the new flashback, but with the information that they've obtained.
Yeah, or
applied to the memory, which I quite liked.
Or with their version of it. So like the doctor saying, "Oh, I left work that night, and then I thought somebody was following me in the car park."
Yeah.
And then when Adam is telling the story about taking the photos of him in the car park, he's like, "What was that about leaving work last night, doctor?
Yeah, saving
were you in
small
work?"
children.
And he's like, "Yeah, I was in work." And he's like, "Well, no, you weren't, because I was the one who took photos in that car park."
Do you not remember your photo being taken?
That was not the hospital car park.
No.
So you're like, oh, he lied to us in his flashback as well as the audience. So yeah, it's nice that some of the aspects that were a bit fudgier in the flashback were a bit weaker. You could say they're plot holes, or you could say it's the unreliable narration.
But like Gordon's lying to himself. Why is he going to be like, oh, I was telling the truth when he's lying to himself so much?
And the one thing that he really gets upset about,
because I always assumed that night in the hotel where he breaks up with the intern, was after his alibi being sorted out.
Oh, it is. That's like 5 months.
Yeah,
after.
But that was it. It was like it's 5 months after. It's like, so he's been carrying on with it because I presumed that intern was his original alibi because she's looking at him all lovingly.
Yeah.
When he's having the interactions with Zep.
Yeah, and his alibi is he doesn't say, but he says, I was with somebody. It wasn't a patient.
Yeah.
And the lawyer kind of looks at him like, oh, you're cheating on your wife then.
Yeah. Tell them that. Yeah. Look, if it's a suspected murder charge or cheating on your wife.
But then 5 months later, he's in a hotel room breaking it off. And yeah, maybe you're supposed to think, oh, did they not do it? Because it's not 100% clear. But if it's 5 months, they probably did it. But when Adam is having a go at him,
he's like, I never cheated on my wife.
Yeah, that's the first time he gets real angry. He's like, I never cheated on my wife. It's like,
so
whoa, why are you getting so defensive then? Yeah.
Also, power imbalance. She's an intern.
Yeah, and even she's like, I don't know the rules for this kind of thing, Dr. Gordon.
Yeah, he won't even let her
I don't
call
know
him
how to sneak around
with
a married man. I'm sorry.
who's also my mentor, and there's all sorts of issues
Oh
going on
yeah,
there.
oh yeah, but that's it. Like he is lying to himself.
Yeah.
And he's lied to us through his flashbacks as well. But no, with the editing, more what I liked about it is kind of some of the camera work. All the camera work on the Doctor, on Lawrence, is all steady because he's this composed.
That's his whole
Nothing
thing. Yeah,
breaks through, whereas Adam is all shaky. Not shaky cam, but it's a lot more loose and quicker movements and more cuts because he's that more frantic
Also, I like the fact
character.
that Lawrence kept everything like neat in the little box.
Yeah, he put it all back in.
But Adam's like, fucking, she's like, this doesn't work, fuck
this
it
key
over
doesn't
there.
work, fire it. I don't care, this key might be important later, I don't know, but I'm going to fire it over there where I might not get it. Yeah. No, I did. Their interactions and their personalities, particularly within the room, are constructed well, and I really like it. It is the strongest part of it for me. I don't think the stuff outside of the room is weak or anything.
No, it's not. It just is a little bit more jumbled up, but again, I think that's supposed to be I think that'd be more on purpose to give you the illusion that this is
where we have had
you're
the problems.
supposed to have like this dissolution of time, like there's a brand new clock in the room. You know you have 6 hours, but we don't know what time that's set for. Because there's no windows and the light is on constantly, like you lose the sense of passage of time. Yeah.
And I think any of the things that we didn't like were, well, there was the picking of the victims.
Yeah.
And that stuff they kind of hash out more in the sequels.
Yeah.
And they nail that stuff down a lot better. So I still think it's still a really, really enjoyable film. But the problems that I have with it are not deal breakers by any means.
No. The idea, because serial killers have been done a lot.
And still will continue to be.
Yeah, and this will always be compared to Seven because John Doe and Jigsaw are kind of similar.
Yeah, in that they're very performative kills and the punishment fitting the crime kind of thing.
Yeah, well, the sloth death in
and
Seven.
obsessive detectives tracking them down.
Yeah, but like the sloth victim in Seven.
Yeah.
Really, really reminds me of the poor guy in the razor wire.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see the similarities. They are definitely there, but I wouldn't call it a rip-off at all.
No, it's not a rip-off. It's just a really, because with Sloth, there was there's going to be 7, or with Seven, he was running his way through the 7 deadly sins, so that made sense, and he picked people that suited those, but he already had the ideas there, and he was just finding the victims. This is almost like the reverse, where he's getting the victims and he's building the traps around their perceived sin. That's the way it's supposed to be. But as we discussed earlier, we have certain issues with how he picks them and how he builds them. But they hammer that out more in the second and third films. Definitely. How is Jigsaw sneaking in and out of that hospital?
Well, because he's in hospital for cancer or whatever. 5 months prior to the events in the bathroom,
and he seems.
And at that point, he's already had 3 traps because.
At least 3.
At least 3. When he's in that room with Jigsaw on the bed, he gets called into the detective questionings. Yeah. And at that point, there's been 3 that we've found out about. So he's done 3 traps, then is in hospital, and then 5 months later is still out and about doing a whole lot of other stuff and setting up this room thing.
And not to seem callous or anything, but if chemo, you can't be doing that. You wouldn't have the strength at least to physically move 2 people around, because he's there's people being manhandled. He does have to have some sort of assistance because he does seem to be a frailer older man, and if he has a form of lymphoma or an aggressive enough cancer, because I think you're not maybe you can build all the stuff, but you're not going to be doing the grunt work of physically manhandling these people, because the guy in the razor wire, he's a big fella. Yeah. He's sedating these people or knocking these people out and transporting them. And I think initially... and if you've ever had to move even if you've picked up a sleeping child, that is dead weight.
It's called dead weight for a reason.
Yeah. A kid weighs... a sleeping kid is fucking just trying to take them up the stairs and put them to bed. You're wrecked, let alone moving a 250-pound man.
I had initially kind of thought, the way Jigsaw talks about when he's saying about his reasoning... He's I got given this horrible disease and I decided to go out and kill all these people. But he gets his diagnosis and he's right, I'm fucked, so I'm going to go out and kill people who I think aren't valuing life. Yeah. But that's clearly not the case. So I was maybe he's not getting chemo or any of this stuff. But that's clearly not the case, because we see him in hospital after he's already done 3 traps. Yeah. Which means he's already got his diagnosis and gone back into hospital. So presumably he's only back in there for treatment. Yeah. So cancer patients, especially ones undergoing chemo, tend not to be able to do a whole lot of physical activity. So you're right there, but I'll let suspension of disbelief
Yeah.
take care of that one.
Because I was like, if you're really sick and you're dying, like there's a lot of grunt work going on that you are not, like even at the peak physical, everything's going amazing.
Well,
you're just not going to be able to do it.
He does get helpers, but that's later film stuff as well. But no, I think that about covers it for Saw.
Yeah, it's a great film. It is
really,
a
really
great
enjoyable.
film. Yeah.
Still holds up really well visually.
It's gory, but it's never
too gory.
Overtly gory. They do leave it off.
Yeah, there's a lot of
like the money shot.
Yeah, there's a lot of cutaways or like
it's very much
quick
more
cut editing so that you can't really see.
The Reservoir Dogs ear cut away.
Yeah, like even like I say, when Singh gets killed, you see the guns above him fire and you see his body fall, but you don't see the actual wound at all until it's like 3 or 4 quick like crime scene photographs.
Yeah, it's just little
and you can
glimpses
just
of
about
it.
make out the wound on the back of his head. So yeah, and it's that stuff. It's cutaways. So it's not super gory. It's in you having the knowledge of what's happening to these people. That's where the kind of the fear and the horror is, rather than any jump scares or anything you see on screen.
Own putting yourself into those positions, like at very much at the end, like Adam being left in the dark at the end.
Yeah, it's the horror in considering it.
That's the one that gets me, is being locked into somewhere in the dark. That Like, so it does tap into these things that people.
Yeah, it's not a
fears.
It's not a jump scare film. It's not a.
But it's one of
gory
those
on
ones
screen
that
film. Well, it's gory enough, but
it is gory. But when you start to think about it, and you like, it's one of those ones that you're like, ooh, no, ooh. You'll just get random shudders that are like, ooh, no, weird,
and apart from society having moved on and not kind of viewing people with mental health issues and drug addicts as wasters and scum, still holds up really well. Definitely worth a rewatch, and very enjoyable on the rewatch because there's so much good foreshadowing. You can start to pick up all the little bits and be like, oh, I didn't see that one before. Oh, I didn't see that one before. So definitely worth a rewatch. Yeah,
definitely worth it just for Adam's face at the end.
As for us, I think, well, I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to go and watch Saw 2 because I have a hankering for some more traps.
Yeah, and Saw 2, which is the fun house of horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I want to go watch somebody get pushed into a pit of needles.
That's what we're off to do, folks. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, but thanks for listening to us thus far. If you want, you can head back and listen to some of our previous episodes or our other podcast, MonoRants the Boys. Or you can come and chat with us on Twitter at RantsMono, attempt to chat with us and probably get ignored on Instagram at MonoRants_the_boys, or send your own rants to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back next week with our usual undecided film, and until then, bye-bye.
We are Science Fiction Remnant.
This is the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
We are the Caribbean Science Fiction Network.
We are MonoRants.
We are One Accord Level 2 Podcast.
This is Jesse from Sudden But Inevitable and Open Pike Night.
This is Sci-Fi.